Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Chimney Swift here, and welcome to another build video for the Elder Scrolls Online. So today I'm going to be showing you guys the build that I use to complete Veteran Maelstrom Arena. Windows 10 is giving me some alerts here. So this build and this setup is it's nothing really super unique. I've seen a lot of streamers and YouTubers post this build, especially recently. Now that the new update has come out, I think a couple things have changed a little bit, and people are using one of these sets a lot more now. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, just basically wanted to say on the onset that like this video is just for those of you guys that might be trying to complete VMA and are looking for a DK, Stamina DK build to do it on. So let's get into this. This is my main character, Chimney Swift. He's a Nord Dragon Knight, Stamina DK. So you can see my stats here. My stam is a little bit low right now. I'm running regen food, which I usually run on the final boss. We'll talk about that in a minute. With the other food I run, I've got like 33k stam, so it's a little bit better. Stam is still a little bit low, but I really, I'm trying to pump everything into crit. As you can see, my crit here is 68.8 with my daggers. So let's get into just at least this page first. You're gonna want to put 64 points into stamina. Yeah, so as you can also see, I'm not even max CP either. So I think the fact that I'm completing VMA now, I'm struggling through it, but I'm still completing runs, is pretty awesome. And once I get max CP, which I've got about a little over 100 ranks to go still before I'm max, because the max now is 531, this build will be a whole heck of a lot better, and I'll be doing a lot more damage, and just doing generally better here in VMA. But anyways, wanted to get the build up for you guys, like I said. So let's look at some gear first. So first thing we're gonna look at is the Twice Born Star set. So this is a crafted set. It's a 9-trait crafted set. You're gonna want to get this if you don't have it already. There are some other sets you can run in place of Twice Born Star, like Night Mother's Gaze is pretty good. Like the build I was running previous to this was 5 Night Mothers and 4 Ashen Grip for a little bit of health and extra crit. But honestly, once I switched to this build I'm running right now, I was able to beat the final boss, which I was previously stuck on, and I was able to start farming VMA, which is really nice. So Twice Born Star, it's a 9-trait crafted set that's in Craglorn. When you craft this set, or have someone craft it for you, you're going to want every single piece of your armor to be divines. Every single one. Because the trick with this set is it allows you to have 2 Mundus Stones at the same time. So we are running, the Mundus Stones you're going to want to run are the Shadow and the Thief. So the Thief's going to increase your critical strike chance, and the Shadow is going to increase your critical strike damage. So those two go hand in hand really, really well. So Twice Born Star. So I'm running this on my head, my chest, my belt, my boots, and my legs. Because the next set I run is Vicious Ophidian, and I basically the drops I was getting from trials, I ended up getting a shoulder piece and the hands piece, both in divines. So you're gonna want to get Vicious, your body pieces in divines. No questions asked. You're gonna want to do this. Now, where do you get Vicious? Vicious is dropped from it's dropped from the trials, so it can drop from Ethereal Archive, Hellrot Citadel, Sanctum Ophidia, and I think it might still drop. It might drop from Maw of Lorcaj too. I really have only run that one time, so I don't really know. But I know it drops from Sanctum, Hellrot, and AA. So if you run those trials with a group on just normal mode, it'll drop. You'll have a chance of getting the drops for jewelry in purple on the final boss, and if you beat it on Veteran, you can get it in gold. So Veteran's a little bit harder to get, but now with gear trading, people are able to trade you gear. So I actually have a full set of golded out Vicious Ophidian, which is pretty sick. And this set is amazing. It is so good. Now, what this set does is it gives you crit, it gives you Minor Slayer, which causes your attacks to deal 5% more damage to dungeon and trial monsters. So if I'm running a pledge and I'm DPSing, I get 5% more damage. If I'm in VMA, like you can see behind me, it's 5% more damage, just flat across the board. If I'm running a trial, everything gets hit with 5% more damage from me. So that's so sweet. It's such a freaking strong 3-piece, and I love it. 4-piece gives you additional weapon crits. See, my guy's excited about it. He's cheering. And then the 5-piece is just, it's awesome. It reduces the cost of your stamina abilities by 8%, which is so good. anytime you kill an enemy, you restore like 2.1k stamina, and you get Major Expedition, which increases your movement speed by 30% for 20 seconds. So it gives you speed when you kill stuff, which is so nice in VMA because, you know, that little extra burst of speed might help you, you know, sidestep out of an AoE red circle faster, or it might help you get across the arena to kill a Venom Caller or something in stage 7, or whatever it is that you're doing. Speed is really, really nice, and especially on a Stam DK, the speed is huge because DKs just don't have great mobility. So the speed is clutch. It's really, really clutch. And then it also gives 129 weapon damage, so, you know, that's great. Now, I enchanted all of my jewelry pieces with weapon damage, legendary enchants with weapon damage, so everything's got 174 weapon damage here. And then all of my body pieces, like I said, I'm going 7 pieces of medium armor, and everything has got stamina enchants on there. Now, I think the only things I haven't really maxed out yet are, I don't have a legendary stam enchant on here, and here, the belt and the boots, and I also haven't golded out these pieces yet because I've got 164k gold, but I don't want to burn through that super fast, so I'm like running really, really low on Dre Wax, and it's making me very, very sad. So anyways, yeah, I just spent a bunch of money golding out the helm before this video so that I could show you guys, but anyway, so that's the body. Now, in terms of weapons, I got really lucky yesterday on my run, and I got my first Maelstrom dagger. My first dagger drop was precise, so I golded that sucker out really, really quick. But prior to that, I was actually running 2 daggers of Ashen Grips because that's what I had crafted previous. I was running two sharpened daggers of Ashen Grip. This isn't actually like needed. You know, if you're running Vicious plus Twice Born and you don't have your VMA daggers or axe yet or whatever, you know, like, you don't have to run Ashen Grip. I would say try and find something that gives you more damage, but for sure, if it's a crafted set, I would definitely do Sharpened or Precise. I actually kind of liked Ashen Grip because the 2-piece did give me extra health, which made me a little less squishy. So it's like 1,000 more health, and you know, it took my health from like 18k to 19k, and in VMA that did help, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, this new dagger does a lot more damage, or has the chance of doing a lot more damage. So what do these Maelstrom daggers do? Well, it says your Flurry grants 3,096 additional weapon and spell damage on the next single target damage over time effect cast within 4 seconds. It has a 50% chance to trigger per equipped weapon with this enchantment. It also just adds a flat 94 weapon damage. So every time I use Flurry, with 1 dagger right now, it's a 50% chance. If I had 2, it'd be 100. But every time I use Flurry, it's going to give me a 50% chance on my next dot to do like insane amounts of damage. So that's really, really nice. Now the bow was also Ashen Grip because I was running that for the previous set I had. Once I get the Maelstrom bow with a good trait, I will replace this. So the dream setup for me, like I said, would be, you know, 2 daggers of 2 Maelstrom daggers, or like a dagger and an axe. It just depends on like what I get as I continue to run this and get drops and stuff. But it'd be two, you know, one-handed, you know, daggers or axes of Maelstrom, and then the Maelstrom bow. That would be like the be-all to end-all setup for this build. Still pretty standard. Everybody's kind of running this right now. Like I said, it's not super unique, but that's what I would get. Now, in terms of your bow, what trait? You know, Precise is always good. Crit is always good. Sharpened is solid. But I would say, you know, if you're gonna craft a bow, do either Sharpened or Precise. Don't go with anything else. For damage, that's really what you want. So, you know, hopefully I'll get a Sharpened or a Precise bow at some point here soon, which would be really cool because that would affect my volley tick with the custom enchant on there. But I don't have it yet, sadly. So, so that is gear. That is gear, and it's solid. I really, really like it. At the end of this video, I'm going to show a clip of me beating the final boss, even prior to me getting this dagger. It wasn't the cleanest run, but you know, the build works. So, in terms of skills, what do we have here? So, this bar, you know, these can change. I've played around with this a little bit. Definitely need Venomous Claw on your bar. For sure, you need Bloodthirst or the other morph. Where is it? I really, really like Bloodthirst because you actually get a heal from it. So the final hit deals 300% more damage and heals you for 60% of the damage caused. Having an extra heal in VMA is super useful to your sustain and just staying alive. So a lot of times, especially on the final boss, if I'm like on the crystal phase and that dot is just ticking away at me, Bloodthirst, when I'm using that on those crystals, actually keeps me alive, and I don't really have to worry about putting up Vigor all that much, which is really nice. The next spot I have is Rearming Trap. This skill is so good. It's from the Fighters Guild. It's a morph of Trap Beast, and it's just so freaking good. You know, it sets down a trap, deals physical damage, and then it has a really strong dot over 6 seconds, immobilizes the enemy, and it gives you minor force, which increases your crit damage by 12%. That's huge. It's so good. So this skill I am just falling in love with right now. It's really, really, really strong, and it's really, really powerful. So this spot over here, I've sort of flip-flopped about. Right now I've got Igneous Shield on my bar, which is nice. You know, it gives me major mending, so I can hit Igneous and then resolving. But honestly, like for doing more damage, Rending Slashes here is even better. So the rotation would be Bloodthirst, Venom Claw, Bloodthirst, Trap Beast, or Rearming Trap, Bloodthirst, Rending Slashes, swap bars, drop down another Endless Hail, hit him with the Poison Injection, Noxious Breath, and then switch back and start that rotation over again. And that's kind of what you do. And of course, all while trying to survive, dodge AoEs, do mechanics, and it's not easy. Now, VMA is not an easy place, I can tell you that right now, but I'm really happy that I'm able to complete it. So, and then obviously the last skill here is Vigor, Stamina Heal, really, really strong. Definitely want this on here somewhere. Ultimate is Dawnbreaker of Smiting. You could go with Flawless Dawnbreaker as well for more damage, but I morphed it to Smiting just because I like using it in PvP as well. But honestly, Smiting is still really good in VMA because of the knockdown. Like, there's a countless number of times where I'm just, it's like a sigh of relief. You knock down an enemy and you get a couple seconds to just breathe while they're like on the ground. You can just free DPS them or whatever. In the zombie walk phase in stage 9, it's really helpful because if they're trying to summon that big guy, you can knock him down. So, you know, Smiting or Flawless both work, but I really like Smiting, to be honest. Back bar, we have our bow, obviously. We've got Poison Injection. We got Endless Hail. Noxious Breath, which is another dot, and it applies Major Fracture to the enemy, reducing their physical resistance even further. Then I've got Caltrops here. I haven't morphed it because right now, supposedly, in trials, you can actually stack all 3 types of Caltrops. So, like, I just keep it unmorphed because in a trials group, like, nobody else is running an unmorphed version of Caltrops, so I'm like that guy. But if, like, for instance, I run this, somebody runs this, and another person runs this in trials, they will all stack on each other. But if everybody was running Razor, only one would affect the target. So, like, yeah, that's the only reason I haven't morphed it. But if you're just gonna do VMA solo and you don't running trials or whatever, definitely do Razor Caltrops. It's a lot stronger. I wish I could pick this, but I'm trying to, like, be a good sport when I run trials, so I'm just gonna keep it unmorphed. But so yeah, so that's that. And then Molten Armaments. So I run this because it increases the damage of my fully charged heavy attacks by 40%. So whenever I pop this, you know, anytime I do a heavy attack afterwards for about 40 seconds, you know, heavy attacks do a lot of damage, they regen stamina, and now with this skill active, they do 40% more damage. So that's really, really clutch because managing your stam is pretty important on this build, and doing heavy attacks is really, really important. So if you're doing heavy attacks anyway, you can get 40% more damage out of them with this skill. Now, I'm not saying you have to run this. You definitely don't have to run it. But you know, if you didn't want to run this, or if you didn't want to run Caltrops, you could dump some of your magicka by using Dragon Fire Scale and using the Reflect. You could also probably get away with using Volatile Armor for one of these slots as well, just if you want to be a little more tanky. But honestly, VMA is all about damage. So the more damage you can do, the better. Now, for the ultimate, I've got Standard of Might right now, sort of testing that out. But honestly, Corrosive Armor works extremely well also. I don't use these back bar ultimates all that often because Dawnbreaker is so cheap. It's only 100 ultimate. I get it up all the time that I use this pretty much exclusively. But there are some instances where I'm like, really, I've got it up and I'm trying to burn a boss really hard, and I'll drop a standard. Or if I'm running Corrosive and I get in a really, really bad place, or even just with Battle Roar and I need more stats and regen or whatever, I'll just pop it, you know, just to regen stuff so I don't run out of stam or health or magic or whatever I'm low on. But both standard and corrosive work. So that's kind of my build there. You know, like I said, there's some options and stuff you can swap in here. Like I mentioned with volatile, dragon fire scale if you want. I've even seen people run fossilized before in VMA if they're just trying to lock down one ad and focus another one just to like give themselves a minute to breathe. But you know, Magicka is kind of it's at a premium with this build because you only have like 10, you know, I only have 10.5k Magicka, so I try to save that for molten armaments, which, you know, obviously with Earth and Heart is going to give me 5% stam back. So definitely, you know, you want to utilize anything from your Earth and Heart tree. And then if I'm running Igneous down here or whatever, for more sustain and better healing, you know, I try and save my Magicka for that as well. So that's just kind of the build. In terms of potions that I use, I'm using these Essence of Weapon Power Pots. So it gives you major brutality, major savagery, and stamina, stam regen. But honestly, like earlier rounds, because these are kind of expensive to make, earlier rounds, like the rounds that I know I can do really well on, I'm just using regular stam pots. It takes me a little bit longer because I'm not doing as much damage, but honestly, it's saving me math, so I don't really care. In terms of champion points, so this is kind of cool. So champion points, this isn't like be all to end all. And like I said, I don't even have max CP yet, so it's kind of like up in the air. But right now I'm running 80 into Warlord, 62 into Mooncalf for more regen. You could honestly put some into Tumbling. Like I wish I could put more into Tumbling, and I very well may. As I start to climb towards 531 CP, I might start putting more into Tumbling because I do roll dodge a lot, and reducing the cost of that will help me save some stam. I've even seen people put some into Sprinter because you do sprint around a lot in VMA, but definitely reducing cost is important. Regen is pretty important as well, but not as much as reducing cost. And then like Tumbling is good as well. Now in terms of your blue tree, you're gonna want to put everything into damage. So I've got 96 into Mighty, 9 into Piercing, 16 in Precise Strike so far, and then I'm just pumping up Thaumaturge because this is such a dot build, man. Everything I'm doing is a dot. Venom Claw, Noxious Breath, Poison Injection, Rending Slashes, even Dawnbreaker. So everything I'm doing is like got a damage over time on it. So like jacking up your Thaumaturge is gonna help a lot, and Mighty is really important too. And then of course Precise Strikes for the crit. Piercing is important as well. And then over here, I've got 5 in Quick Recovery, and then I've got 63 in a Hardy, 63 in Elemental Defender, and then I'm just starting to put all my points now into Thick Skinned to reduce the damage I take from damage over time effects. So that's going to help against the Crematorial Guards. It's going to help against you know, Final Boss being up on that the platform with the damage over time up there as you're trying to take out those crystals. There's a lot of other things that it helps with in VMA, but it's really important for defense to do like a setup kind of like this. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, standard build, but it's been working for me. You know, so far I've been completing this for about 4 days now. My best score is 36,2,507. It's not terrible. I mean, I'm still learning. I'm still working on it. And you know, they reset the leaderboards this past Monday anyway, so I'm ranked 55 for DKs, but that'll, I'm sure, drop as time goes on. But you know, it's not a great score, but I'm improving, and I'm really happy with it for now. Because like I said, I've only been completing this for about 4 days, and I'm not even max CP, so I'm kind of happy. And I do have a good dagger, which is awesome. But that's the build, guys. If you have any questions, you know, be sure to leave me a comment down below. Oh, I wanted to also mention, if you don't have Vicious Ophidian, what I would run if you don't have Vicious would probably be, because it's harder to get for people that don't run trials. So if you don't run trials, I would definitely recommend getting the agility set. So the agility set is it's right here. So it gives you max stam and weapon damage, and I would just do legendary weapon damage and chance on all of them as well. So do 3, you can run 3 agility, and then depending on which pieces you craft for Twiceborn, you could do a monster set. So you could probably do like Velidreth, you could do Engine Guardian for more sustain, you could do Bloodspawn for more sustain and regen, you could do like 1 Velidreth, 1 Kina if you have that. But honestly, if you're gonna run a monster set, with Twiceborn, you really have to have Divines on both pieces. Otherwise, you're not going to get... otherwise, Twiceborn's just not going to be as strong. Twiceborn is really, really strong when you have 7 Divines and 7 pieces of medium armor. Like, that's really what you want. But there's some options, and if you guys have questions, you can leave comments on the video. But guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. I will be putting out some more build videos soon. We'll be putting out a tank build video as well on this character sometime soon, and I've got a lot more content coming out. So at the end of this video, I'm just going to throw up my final boss fight against the final boss in VMA. Hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.
Let's hope that this time it's more of a contest.
It's a very tanky set, but I will take the light shoulder divines. That is a sick